A former Pittsburgh Steelers player was detained by police. Also, several protests are being planned this weekend around the country. Thank you for joining us. I'm TJ Anthony. This is 21 Next. First, I want to go ahead and talk about two people that are now in a coma. It's a granddaughter and also her grandfather. They are in a coma. They're in the hospital. There's a picture of them right there. Our Maxine Rose got to speak to some family members of theirs. Now, as you can imagine, they are just really holding out hope, hoping that their loved ones can survive after that just terrible crash. You see the condition those cars were left. So this happened in York County. That's where the family lives. And Scott and Penelope Rittler, they were going to the Shrewsbury YMCA. This happened on Monday, and that's when they were saying a truck drove into their lane, striking them head on before that they could even turn into the lot. So they were separated as they were rushed to Hershey and York Hospital. Now, that all, of course, was the beginning of a nightmare for their family. So really, they're just heartbroken tonight as they desperately just wait to see what happens to their loved ones. All right, I want to go ahead and talk about a pretty popular story making headlines right now. It's involving a former Pittsburgh Steeler player, Antonio Brown. A lot of you all probably know that name. He's made headlines a lot over the past few years recently. Well, now we know that he was detained by police last month. This was after a boxing event in Miami. So it was actually later that night on May 16th when police say Brown got into a fight with several people right outside of a venue, and now he's being accused of attempted murder with a firearm. So this is something that Brown is also talking about. He's not shying away from claiming, what he says actually happened. So he says it was self-defense, and he said that he was being robbed that night. Now, he did put out a statement on social media. He said that police released him after he told his side of the story and that he does plan on pressing charges against the people that he says jumped him. All right, now let's get to a really big story tonight and going into this weekend. No Kings protests are being planned across the country in LA, Atlanta, New York, and even in our area, Pennsylvania. Josh Shapiro, Pennsylvania's governor, talking about it as well. So this is a really big story. It's supposed to be happening tomorrow. And basically what these protests are about, they are protesting the Trump administration and their policies. So what's interesting, though, about this is that these protests are happening on the same exact day as Washington, D.C.'s military parade. And that's to celebrate the Army's 250th anniversary. Now, that also coincides with the president's 79th birthday and also Flag Day as well. So this is happening in a couple central Pennsylvania areas. We do know it's happening in Lancaster County. We do know it's also happening in York County. And we also know one protest is planned in Harrisburg as well, and a few more out there as well. So we are going to have team coverage on this tomorrow. So you definitely want to make sure you watch us tomorrow at 6, 10, and 11 so you could just see those protests, see, the outcome of it, see what the turnout was like as well, because really tens of thousands of people across the country are expected to gather for this protest as well. So, all right, we do know also this weekend, the protests aren't the only thing that's happening. Father's Day is also happening this weekend. So, Tom, hopefully the weather will look good for all the dads out there and all the events planned.
Unfortunately, Mother Nature is in charge. She's not a father fan, apparently. So we got a lot of clouds rolling in. So tonight, TJ, we just saw a good bit of cloudiness. That's going to be the case this weekend. It's not going to rain all the time, but we are going to see scattered showers, maybe a mixed in thunderstorm through the day tomorrow, 72. Sunday, we're going to be lucky to reach 70 for the high. That's very cool for this time of year, but we're in an easterly wind flow. It's going to keep things cloudy and cool, so 70 on Sunday, and it does linger into Monday of next week. We'll break out of this Tuesday, mostly cloudy, back into the upper 70s, and then the heat comes right back. I mean, it is mid-June now, so 88s on Wednesday and Thursday, and summer officially arrives 1 week from today. So unfortunately, not the greatest weekend coming our way.
Yeah, not the greatest, but at least next week, that heat will come back and also the sun will come back too.
Yeah, just make the most of it. Don't forget that on Sunday.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching 21 Next. I'm TJ Anthony. Have a great night.